Alright, welcome back. This is Mission 4 of Dishonored with lore commentary. I think I can get through this in 2 parts, pretty sure. Before I get started, I just want to give a quick plug to my latest novel coming out. Well, for me it's tomorrow, but if you're watching this, it's probably already out. The Heron King's Rampant. It's a gas lamp, fantasy, action-adventure type of thing, and takes a lot of inspiration from Dishonored. So, yeah, maybe check it out. Link in the description. And be sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to my channel, tick the bell for notifications, and subscribe to my Patreon. No, you don't have to do any of that stuff. I don't even have a Patreon. Alright, let's get started. Emily's now safe in the protective care of the Loyalists. With her well-being temporarily assured, it's time to remove Lord Regent's remaining allies.
So you did the business, did you, Corvo? I'm not one to speak against my betters, mind you, but if anybody ever deserved their fate, it was those Pendletons.
What business are you talking
Interesting,
about?
we're coming in from a different direction this time.
Grown-up business, girl. I mean, your ladyship. Forgive me.
It's okay. I heard a lot of grown-up business at the Golden Cat.
Oh. I should concentrate on piloting this boat.
In real life, it'd be off with his head. All the servants are coming down to welcome us.
Young Lady Emily, I'm Callista. I'll be caring for you and schooling you while you're with us.
Pleased to meet you.
As am I. Would you like to see your room in the tower?
Can I see it?
Yes, you may. You'll get to see it all. The entirety of the Hound Pits.
Good. I think I'll like it here. I'll go with Callista, Corvo. I'll see you later.
You do not fail to impress. Armed with a blade, you've changed the course of the city forever. And with the Pendleton twins gone, our own Lord Pendleton will assume their votes in Parliament. In one night, you've done more than most men do in a lifetime. I need to speak to you soon. But for now, Lord Pendleton requests your attention.
Okay, and he is over here. And using our blink, we can go straight there.
Corvo, the Loyalist conspiracy thanks you for your work. I don't know if I can. My own brothers.
We never believed that you killed the Empress. It made much more sense that the Royal Spy Master, now the Lord Regent, was behind it, aided by some of his key allies. We spent a lot of money and exposed ourselves to great risk in getting you out of prison. But we did it because we believe that you're the one that can make the difference.
Oh, and Havelock's looking for you.
Some clumsy audio there. I was just talking to Havelock. Anyway, let's take a look across here. Nice view, kind of a sunset view. Very nice. In the distance, we can see Kaldwin's bridge. It's our next target. And notice that that's the only bridge that actually crosses the river entirely. You see these pylons of stone, previous bridges, along here, but they all had to be demolished because the whaling ships were too big. They couldn't pass underneath. So now Kaldwin's bridge is the only drawbridge that can raise and lower to let the whaling ships pass. So it's the only functioning bridge across the river in the whole city. Take that.
All right, my friend. Martin's devised our next move. There's a footnote in Campbell's journal that tells us the Lord Regent's mistress sat for a portrait with Sokolov, the painter and royal physician. He'll be able to give us her name. Sokolov lives on Kaldwin's bridge about half the time, out over the river. The catch is that I'm afraid you've got to head out right away, while Sokolov is at his apartment on the bridge. Samuel can get you close to the bridge, but you'll have to find Sokolov. Bring him back here intact, and it'll enable us to make our next move. I can't believe what you've done so far. escaping from Coldridge, taking down the High Overseer, recovering Emily. You make this old military man proud. That's it then.
It's a little more
Your
dialogue.
work at the Golden Cat was something for the poets, Corvo. Both targets eliminated and Emily delivered to us without so much as a bump or a bruise. The city is better off without the men you took care of, those loutish twins. And now, Lord Pendleton can slow the Lord Regent down in Parliament. Gum up the works. Bit by bit, we're winning. Let's just hope the city lasts long enough for us to make things right again. Bit by bit, we're winning.
Oh, okay.
Let's just hope the city lasts long enough for us to make things right again.
Sokolov's unpredictable. And as head of the Academy of Natural Philosophy, he's an odd bird, to be sure. You showed skill in dealing with the Pendletons. I'm impressed. When a fight starts in a brothel, well, I've seen it go poorly. You know Sokolov, don't you? They say genius and madness are so finely balanced in his personality that no one can tell the difference. Sokolov's on the bridge right now, but he's given to late-night wanderings. Best to move as soon as possible. He's one of the keys to this puzzle, to putting things right. If we could bring him to our side, think what he and Piero could accomplish together.
Gamble's journal. It's amazing how many overseers he'd been blackmailing. It really is the key to the Abbey.
Okay. I think that's it for them.
I hope his lordship is taking this well. Pendleton, I mean. I do worry about the poor man.
Let's
Where's
see.
Wallace? Wallace! You're promoted wherever you are.
He's right
Head
there.
lackey.
Man, he is in trouble.
I suppose this means I'll have to have children, or else recognize one of my bastards.
Oh no.
This will be a new beginning for the Pendletons. I'll make sure of that. Lord of Pendleton Manor. If Waverly could see me now.
Waverly, Waverly, Waverly. Alright, Pendleton does not have a new memoir entry. But he does have a tartlet. Apricot tartlet. Tasty. A rewire tool. And Havelock's got a short log entry. Pendleton was willing to go further than I thought. He served up his own flesh and blood to the cause, and I can see that he's truly loyal to the Empire. Could I have done the same if my brother was still alive today? Probably. Undoubtedly. Many innocents must be sacrificed for the good of Dunwall. Every loyal watchman that falls beneath Corvo's blade is giving his life for the Empire. Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Nothing in there. So let's go up to our
Hello, Mr. Corvo.
to our room,
I'll be getting on with my work then.
and we should have a little gift from Piero. Where? No. Sleep darts, which we don't need. Okay, well. Corvo, thank you for getting me a live weeper. This is going to be invaluable for my old friend at the Academy of Natural Philosophy. His living plague victims are quite difficult to procure. Rest assured, my colleague will handle the situation as humanely as possible. And let's go see Emily's room. I think there's some dialogue there.
Callista, I don't want to look around right now.
Of course. We can give you the tour later, when you've rested.
I was wondering, do you think my mother is really dead? I saw her get stabbed, but maybe she was still alive and got better.
Yeah, Echo's nice touch.
Is that possible?
I'm sorry, Emily. But no, she did not survive.
Oh. Did you go to her funeral? Was it fancy and beautiful?
A train of carriages rode through the city. It was very beautiful. Flowers everywhere. And thousands of people wept because they will miss her.
I wish I could have seen it.
I'm sorry, dear.
I mean, this place isn't as pretty as the Golden Cat, but I like it better anyway. You can see the tower across the river from here. That's where my mother died. Sometimes I wonder about the man who stabbed my mother. Who was he? So I get to stay in a smaller tower while I live here. That'll be good practice. I like Samuel. Perhaps we can take another boat ride soon.
I've been planning for Emily. Lesson plans are together. A schedule is prepared. We will make life as normal as possible here. The horror she has seen. But all that's almost over. Now is my time to show my worth in this coalition. I knew this was why they brought me here, but I didn't want to say it out loud lest it not happen. Superstitious, I know.
Okay, and I think we've already read these. Yeah. Yep. Okay, I think that's everything for this part. Now let's go get some gear.
Ask me for any gear you need.
Alright, Mask Optics 2. I highly recommend this. A lot of gamers don't use it or even know that it exists, but I find it very useful. Especially for aiming those sleep darts from long distances. Let's just go right down to the boat. And actually, so the second zoom, so that's the first zoom, and then that's the second zoom, so we can get even closer to distant objects. So, pretty useful, I think. If you use it right. I mean, don't try to use it in a gunfight, obviously.
We'll get our sleep later.
Okay, let's go. Oops.
Off to Kaldwin's
Try that
bridge,
again.
sir. We'll get our sleep later. Just climb aboard when you're ready.
Alright, Royal Physician, you've been asked to abduct Anton Sokolov, Royal Physician, head of the Academy of Natural Philosophy. Your new allies want to obtain from Sokolov the name of the Lord Regent's mistress. Mysterious ally and one of his most powerful noble supporters. Sokolov lives in a large apartment somewhere atop Kaldwin's bridge.
What do you think, Corvo? Kaldwin's bridge. You've been in the city for years, but you lived in Dunwall Tower with the late Empress, so maybe you haven't visited the bridge before tonight. Something to look out for. See all them lights on the water? That's right, we'll be spotted for sure. You're gonna have to shut off their power before I can pick you up. Now, about bringing Sokolov back alive. He's smart. Maybe even smarter than Piero. Got the whole of Dunwall under his thumb with all that natural philosophy business. New technology, potions and the like. Seems dangerous to me. But what do I know? Here we are. I'll meet you at the arches under Sokolov's place when you're ready, Corvo. Assuming, of course, you've taken care of those floodlights.
You understand now?
Curfew means ain't nobody allowed to be just wandering about.
Yeah, I know. But if we do see something, then what? Do we say something? Remind him about
Boldest measures are the safest.
You don't remind him. You chase him down, and you give him a severely deadly beating is what.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Severely deadly beating.
Some of this dialogue's great.
Tired yet?
Of course, it just makes the repeated NPC lines stick out that much more by contrast. Alright, so this room has a little bit of loot. In here, not a whole lot. Some ore. Alright, Alright, so this is where we encounter this little carriage thing. Blueprints. Some coin. And warehouse key. Okay, so this thing, you can either use the chain, but you really don't need it. You can just blink up here and get this oil. Plug it in. And before I do this, there's one little thing I want to show. Let me save first, in case it doesn't work out too well. Usually you can only blink through places that you have direct line of sight and lots of space. For some reason, I don't know if this is true elsewhere, but I just noticed it here. You can actually blink right through this door window. Off here. Get the right angle here. Yeah. You can blink right through the glass, broken glass window. I don't recommend it because a lot of times these guys will be alerted, come down and actually come through the door to investigate. And of course you have the key. You don't really have to, but I just thought it was interesting that usually you can't blink through confined spaces like that. But rather than go that way, let's get on this this little carriage right here. Careful not to touch the electrified rails, of course. And let's come right over to this apartment.
Citizens and visitors to our city, by order of the Regent, the curfew is now active.
And we can hear
is allowed across Kaldwin Bridge until curfew is lifted.
Rune
Attention all citizens.
Behind this door.
No pedestrian movement is
and
allowed
you can actually blast through this door if you want. You don't have to use even a grenade, just a gun will do it, you see. You'll alert the guards. But if you wanted to be a little bit more stealthy, you can reload here and go around the back way. And this chain is just out of reach, so you have to go a little bit past and grab onto it. And you can come up from the other side, this balcony. Okay, and there's another little area over here. And again, this is a situation where Blink 2 comes in handy, as well as the mask optics. You sleep dart him. Oh. That doesn't look like a good, looks like a nasty head wound there. Might have killed him, but we'll see. If you blink, you can just barely make it right there onto the edge. Alright. And there's a kind of a lift here, which you can take, but you can just blink up so that you can activate the switch and lower this platform. Uh-oh. There's another guard down there. There's a weeper here. Choke him out. And you get a bone charm and some loot. 100 coin, nice. Take that. And come back down this way, and I think there's another guard.
Plague.
Zoom in, double.
Elixir.
And miss him, of course. Jeez. Alright. So you notice that this area is even more decrepit and sort of dilapidated than other parts of the city. And kind of one little dark, trivial fact is that, you know, when the plague is at its worst, people were actually committing suicide off the bridge. It used to be a nice little tourist area, come visit the bridge and all that, but now it's where people jump off, so it's even more depopulated than normal. Except for this guy up here.
Curse the plague and this blasted curfew. How is anyone supposed to make a living?
It's very wealthy Mr. Pratchett.
Mr. Pratchett.
So you see his jellied eels, his canned jellied eels all over the place.
Gangs are cutting throats
and he
and
also
smashing windows left
owns a
and right.
warehouse. And let's just
excuse me, the
use
plague
this.
victims are worse.
Sometimes you can get both of them. Sometimes, not always. Let's reload.
Gangs are cutting throats and smashing windows left and right. And the weepers, excuse me, the plague victims are worse. Are you saying the Lord Regent is wrong for imposing curfew?
It won't do you any good to bait me, officer. But don't worry, I'll be fine. I'll profit. A smart man can come out ahead, even in the time of plague.
Sure, like that Sokolov. He's doing fine. Always a lot of exotic items coming and going from his place. Keeps this place running, at least for now.
Yes, yes, if by exotic you mean foul-smelling as a witch's bottom. The royal physician will be fine too, until he crosses the wrong man.
There's Pratchett. Same character model as Bunting, actually. And let's loot Pratchett's house. There's that 4 there. And some loot, Carmine War Medal. I looked for a high-resolution image of that Tivian whaling ship. I could never find one. I wanted to print it out and frame it. But right, Isle of Morley. It said that the history of Morley is as colorful as the quilt made from all the flags ever flown and all the clothes ever worn. The land itself hides from the sun under a layer of clouds, and thick gray moss hangs from the trees. But the spirit of the people who live in Morley dances like the firelight. Among the people, the love of good food and drink is legendary, with stews and roasted meat dishes most often used to fight off the cold and the dreariness. The nation has a rich tradition of poets, musicians, and philosophers, even among the poorest folk. Intellectual tomes and bar songs alike were often penned in Morley. Late entry into the Empire, the Morley insurrection is still a sore point for many natives, and independence is a proud character trait among the people. It might be a character trait, but it's not a reality. You have, as I said, basically no self-governance. This reads like a travel brochure propaganda or something. But, yeah, Isle of Morley. And so here's the safe, obviously a rune inside. But what's the combination? Messy. And Pratchett's reminder, remember that the truth is in the paintings. The way to the truth starts in the crowded streets. Continue until you see an anchored whaling ship. From there, find the slaughterhouse, and the truth will be revealed to you. So streets, ship, slaughterhouse. And so that will tell us the combination. 7. And the numbers on the paintings, I don't think that they change, but the order changes. So that's something you have to discover each time. 3. 7, 3. Some loot here. Sexton. I wonder if he married into the Carmine family, and that's why he has so many Carmine heirlooms. His name's Pratchett. Nope, already read that. Not doing that again, that's for sure. And I already know the number down here is 4, but just for completeness. 4. Okay. 4, 7, 3. And it opens. And we get, what do we get? We get a rune, obviously. 2 gold ingots. Nice loot. Okay, so that's Pratchett's house. Anything else? No. And there's not a whole lot over here in this apartment, just a tiny amount of loot. And so there's this area over here with... we can already hear the rantings of the mad survivor, so we'll go see what we can hear from him. Sometimes it's hard to get him to say his lines. Yeah. He's got a couple of different lines and they change each time, so...
See, Papa, I'm learning. Can you see me learning? I am learning everything, and everything is before me.
Again, nice view across the river.
How did it pass me by? All the others, down with the sickness.
Come on, say... Uh-oh. Alright, well... Can't wait around forever. But basically, if you listen to him long enough, you'll see some crazy lines. Alright, so he's got a shrine and some journal entries. Entry 1. 19th day month of seeds. What will I do? She left and took her things back to her family as if that will help. The plague will get us all. 3rd day month of nets. I've been offered work on one of the whaling boats. I'll be leaving this place at last. Later, I will find a place on Tivia to the north. Winters are cold there. No rats, no plague. 28th day month of nets. Last day of the month, my fortunes have turned. I found something. Shiny, and old. Looks like whalebone, which is supposed to be lucky. So he found a rune, and it's probably what drove him crazy. Body in the corner. Little decor. Journal entry 2. 6th day month of rain. My cousin Emil is coming soon, bringing a bird to roast. I'm going to see if any of the shops are still open. Maybe I can buy apples or some potatoes. 10th day month of rain. I put my whalebone carving on a shelf, but I could not see it from some parts of the room, so I made a little pedestal for it. It looked nice in the candlelight. 15th day month of rain. Sometimes I dream about it. In the dreams it makes sounds like the wind through a broken window. On some nights the wind sounds like a voice. I was supposed to go to the docks to ship out, but I remembered too late. It was days ago. He sounds like a junkie. And then there's a Journal 3. 18th day month of rain. My cousin came, but we fought over it. When I came into the room, he was holding it. I screamed at him, and we fought. Now I am filled with remorse. 26th day month of rain. He's still sitting in the corner, across from the candles. He was a thief. 2nd day month of wind. I wonder how he knew about it. Coming to dinner was a trick. Maybe he told others. 7th day month of wind. Barricades in the halls outside. It is safe now. Must not smell too good in this room, I'm sure. So that's probably cousin Emil in the corner there. And rune, let's see what the outsider has to say.
Rivers change course over many lifetimes, and eventually all bridges tumble down. 1,000 years ago, there was another city on this spot. The people carved the bones of whales into runes and inscribed them with my mark. Children still find them washed up in the river mud. Anton Sokolov has made a great study of my runes, but he's not special like you are. He wasn't chosen, and he doesn't wear my mark, so he can't unlock their secrets. Sokolov believes there are specific words and acts that can compel me to appear before him. He searches old temples in Pendicia and ruined sub-basements in the flooded district. He performs disgusting rituals beneath the old abbey. But if he really wants to meet me, he could start by being a bit more interesting.
Okay. So if you want, you can just take the main road and go straight forward. But that's not very much fun. There's a stealthier way, which is to come over this way. I don't think there's a whole lot in here, just a little bit of loot. And this is where we first encounter the arc pylon.
Yeah, he came through earlier. Made us all touch the charger and left for the legal district.
Okay, good. We can't lose any more men to the arc pylons. Touch the charger before your shift when the duty officer brings it by, and the arc pylon won't fry you.
Those things? Give me the willies, sir.
You'll be thankful when Slackjaw's boys come down the street to slit your ricker. It'll be fun to watch them turn to ash. There was a time when we didn't need these things to keep a gang of kids down. I think since the plague hit, none of them expects to live past 20. So why be scared of anything?
Scouts, so you don't end up in a cell. What Alec did was the exact opposite.
So the spyglass actually amplifies the sound as well. Now let's listen to the gangsters.
We saw the arc pylons. They're still there. Great. Yes, the pylons are still there, in case we want to go and get ourselves killed. Look, are we gonna bust Alec out or not? Eventually, sure. He's the only one who could tell us about the pearls. We'll let him rot in a cell a while longer. He'll be more careful.
So that's Alec. We'll meet in a bit. If we come in here, we see... looks like a card game gone horribly wrong. So we look at the scorecard. Game 1, bet is 5 coins each. Jack and Quilty, 23-0, 38-0, 59-0, 59-3, 73, 82-3, 103-3, 13-2, whatever. Well, it looks like Jack was probably cheating, and Quilty found out about it, and that's kind of what happens. So, don't cheat at cards, kids. If you go out onto this ledge here, this balcony, the pylon will get you.
City Watch, wake up.
And if you still haven't figured it out yet, we can see what happens to these guys. Yeah. So we will go down this way and around this. So if you're not in line of sight of the arc pylon, it won't get you. So there's a couple ways you can go. You can come down here, go around to the other side, up where those guys were. But if you just want to go right past, the best way is kind of over here. Come up behind it. And if you want to go, you know, do a more lethal way, you can come up here and rewire this thing so it shocks the guards instead of you.
Huh?
You can also kind of blink right past and just go into here. Unplug one of the pylons up above so it doesn't get us here. And so sometimes, I guess not this time, but sometimes these guards will be discussing the rules of the card game Nancy, and it's very complicated. Like it's more complex than euchre, and I do not understand euchre at all. But if you want to sit and listen to him try to explain Nancy, it's pretty complex. But they're not doing anything this time, so we'll just go up here.
Stupid goddamn.
You know when the game autosaves, you're coming to a dangerous spot, but this guy you can just walk right by. Kaldwin's bridge was commissioned, obviously, by Kaldwin's. It was Jessamine's predecessor, Father Euhorn Kaldwin. So it's a pretty recent bridge. It might not even be finished yet. But it's the only bridge that can raise and lower to allow the passage of the new whaling ships that carry all the whales for the whale oil. So it's kind of a technological wonder. But yeah, it's the only way to cross the river without a boat. So you can imagine a lot of plague was concentrated here because of all the people, all the traffic. So another reason why there's so much kind of dilapidated, broken down buildings here. These are the wheels that part of the mechanism that raise and lower the whole thing. And I'm not sure how high you can get. I don't think you can get to the very top. Or if you can, I haven't quite done it yet. It might be possible. Maybe not quite up there. Oh. Okay, so you can see a good bit of the city from here. And if you zoom in, you can see just the top part of Dunwall Tower right there. And theoretically, you should be able to see the Helm Pits just across, but I think the distance is so much that it just didn't render, because I don't see the tower over there at all. But you can see King Sparrow Island and the lighthouse, 4 miles distant. So now there's an achievement for getting up here. I can't remember which part you have to get to, but if you get to the highest, basically it's the highest point in the whole game that you can reach. It's called King of the World, I think it is. It might be up on top of one of these pylons. Yeah, because you can see here, it looks almost like it's unfinished on this side. Because it's still a pretty recent construction. I mean, as far as bridges go. Can I get up? I don't think so. No. Whoa. Ouch. Okay. Well, I mean, I already have the achievement, so I can't show it to you again, but this is where the light control is. And sometimes you get a dialogue with these two guards. One of them wants to come up and check the lights. He likes climbing them, and the other one says, just leave it alone or else you'll break it. Don't get it this time, though. Love all those little unique dialogues that happen in certain places. I guess we're not going to get it, but anyway, here are the drawbridge lights, and so there's a fun little thing you can do. Let me let me take these out. Save. Now if you come over here, so you've disabled the lights, so that's the signal to Samuel that he can come and cross without being seen. So he will start his run across the river. If you can see where... Oh, there he is. Alright. So if you then come over and plug the lights back in, you lose the mission. Samuel has been spotted by the spotlights, so you immediately lose because he was spotted after he started crossing. So don't do that, but it's just interesting you can do that. But we'll leave the lights off. And there's Samuel. You can see him crossing, and he'll go over to Sokolov's house. Of course, it'd be much more efficient if he could just hop onto his boat from the bridge and then ride the rest of the way, but that wouldn't be much of a game. So.
Can't stay hidden forever.
I gotta stop chewing hammer weed. Nothing here.
Yeah, must have been done.
And you can hear the arc pylon getting louder as you get closer to it.
No, stupid gut.
There it is. If we come over here, we can link right down there to disable it.
Give a guy a break, will ya?
Thursday.
Rats. Plague.
Oh, there's plenty of water where you're going, you river slime.
So here's where they have Alec locked up.
Now wait a bit, what do you mean? You ain't gonna dump me in the flooded district, are you?
Huh?
Stupid gut.
Huh?
And there's a book over here. Let me take care of this guy first. Alright, River Crust Reproduction. Excerpt from a nature journal by Piero Joplin. Curiously, the river crust possesses both male and female anatomical features. One can only imagine what this would mean for human society were it true among our own species. Would we dispense entirely with courting and dances? Imagine the increase in efficiency as we all dedicated to ourselves to the important matters in life. Natural philosophy, of course, but also industry and law. And when aged members of society needed to be replaced by more vigorous younger members, one could simply engage in the auto-impregnation process and produce the desired offspring. Back to the matter at hand. While any given river crust is fully capable of inseminating itself, it must also be noted that reproduction does frequently occur between individual crusts. This happens when river crusts live in colonies clustered above and below one another, such as when attached to a wooden dockyard piling. In these cases, one of the mollusks releases its fluids. They run down across another in the colony, resulting in the intermixing of bloodlines. Well, that's disgusting. But thanks for that, Piero.
Hey, you with the mask and the hand tattoo. Listen, I ain't no criminal. I just collect river crust pearls. They chased me down, and I had to hide my catch. You help me, and I'll show you where the pearls are. Split them with you.
Yeah, so this guy's actually lying to us. He's a gangster. He's about to betray us, but we'll play along just to show the
I know you're here somewhere, scum.
show how it goes. Okay, go down here and oops. He jumped right on top of me. Alright, let's try that again.
Just follow me. I'll show you the place. No one saw me drop it. You open. I'll feed your heart.
Oh! I didn't let him out. How'd that happen? Alright, let's let him jump first. Alright, so now we come to the first encounter with the river crusts, which apparently Dunwall whiskey tastes like, according to the heart.
River.
And one thing that I just found out recently,
That spit of theirs stings like fire.
I'll show it.
Get rid of that thing, or I won't go further.
You can actually possess them. I mean, you can possess any animal, so I guess that includes the river crusts. If you can get close enough, which I did not. Great. Alright, try again.
River crust. I don't like them. That spit of theirs stings like fire.
Alright, there we go. And there's not a whole lot of reason for it. You can't do anything. You can look around, but you can't move because they're not mobile. But I just thought it was kind of an interesting little piece of information that you can do if you want, even though there's no real reason. Alright. So you can shoot these guys pretty easily, but their shells have to be open before you can do any damage. I mean, you can use grenades, but... Okay. And then you can loot pearls from their insides. Yep, 50 coin each. So you can see why people might risk the danger to harvest the pearls. And if you there's a line from the loudspeaker previously that says that any property recovered from river crust is state property or something like that. So. Alright, where'd he go? Oh, he already went on. Okay.
Locked, huh? I was afraid of that. That key will be on one of those guards. It's up to you. You still want them pearls, I mean.
Of course, we could just blink right over. That's where his buddies are laying in wait to ambush me. But we'll go get the key anyway. And I think we already knocked out both. There's only a couple guards here, and we knocked them out, so I don't think there's any problem. There's the key. I don't think there's anything over here. No. Okay, so at this point we don't even need the key because we're already on the other side of the gate. But oh yeah, let's take a look at. So now Morgan and Custis Pendleton missing. All citizens required to report any knowledge. So now they're missing. So the poster updates as you play the missions. And so the thugs are in here. See if they do anything.
What?
And I am out of sleep darts. Well, it is. It has been a mostly non-lethal playthrough. I don't think it's gonna be a fully. All right, let's. I can't knock him out. Can't choke him out.
Come to think on it, there aren't many honest men left these days.
Yeah, no kidding. And then they come after me.
Cut this bastard up for the hack. Get around him. Kick in his teeth.
And they killed me.
Someone's about to get shanked.
Even though I knew it was coming, they killed me. Alright, well. Whatever. We're coming up on an hour, so I think it's... I think that's probably a good place to stop. This is a section break here. Is it, yeah, mid-row substation. Okay, that's a good place to stop. Okay, so, alright, so once again, thanks so much for watching. And like I said, please check out my my book, The Heron King's Rampant, coming out tomorrow or now, depending on when you watch this. It's the third in a series, but it's a series of standalones. They can all be read individually, so yeah, 99 cents on Kindle. And thanks a lot, and hope to see you in the next one.